What are you doing, beloved?
Attention, attention, my black brothers. What I want y'all to do right now is take out the do-rag, the silky, tie it down. I want to see the waves glistening. If you got nappy hair, pick it. Don't let nobody discourage you.
Ariel.
Black boy, black boy.
What is up, everybody? It is your boy, Laura Jeffrey.
And I'm Derwin King.
And welcome back to another episode of That Black Boy Joy, where we create a space where black boys can be themselves and
so much more.
And guess what, as you all can see or probably hear in a little bit, we have a guest on the show with us. We have Mr. Sampson McCormick here in the building with us. He is an award-winning comedian. Do you want me to say gay comedian or just, well, I just said it. Well, award-winning gay comedian.
See, you already done it now. Be like, who is this gay ass person?
Right. I was like, let me just say he is an award-winning gay comedian and a DC native, but he is an LA resident currently. He is also an actor, a writer, and a director, and has a lot of work out here in the world. But first of all, how are you? And thank you so much for being a part of the show.
Well, yeah, first let's do that. Let's thank y'all for, both of you, Derwin and Devery, for, being here and doing this. Not enough of us are doing this. So I got to shout y'all out. Like, I'm here on y'all playground for y'all, okay? I really, I don't just do this for me.
Yeah.
I really do this because I think y'all know there was a time where we were growing up and you could not find any black gay people on television, on the radio, in movies, unless we were some victims or some clowns.
Yeah, a joke.
Right.
Yeah, so, we're making the jokes, okay?
Okay.
And doing it very well. But I mean, everything comes from us. So that's neither here or there. We'll get to that later.
Alrighty.
But I just want to thank y'all for doing this. Like, it's so important.
Thank you.
And it's called that Black Boy Joy. Y'all are
Yes.
just all the things. All the things. Yes.
First of all, we are like really thankful for you for even like wanting to be on our show and talk about all the things that you're working on. When we got the reach out and things like that from your team, we were like, what in the world? We like, oh snap! We was like, hold on, what just happened?
Oh,
Because you one funny motherfucker, I'll tell you that much.
I appreciate it. Appreciate it. And I've been around for a long time. I've been around for 20 years.
20 years, I saw that.
For 20 years. And, we still have a long way to go in this business.
Mm-hmm.
But like I said, 10 years ago, you would never turn on Netflix and see specials by Black LGBTQ comedians. And now you turn it on. Sam J is on there.
Yes.
It's hilarious. Flame Monroe is another really good friend, Black trans comedian, been in the game 20 years.
Yes.
Shantae Wayans is another one, Black lesbian comedian. So, we have yet to get more Black gay men. And I was a little modest about it at first, but I was one of the first.
Come on, let's put that out there.
It just is what it is.
Yeah.
But I would like to see more of us get the type of mainstream exposure that we deserve.
Yeah, I think it'll come in due time. I think if we keep being consistent and just breaking down these barriers and being the voice and being this representation like you are, I think that it will come. And I think having you out here does bring confidence to other queer gay comedians out there, specifically men. So I think that is dope. But we asked this question to all of our guests. So of course we want to ask you this as well. But what does Black Boy Joy mean to you?
Oh, this is easy. Freedom and good sex is what it means.
That's right. I love that.
It means freedom as in living life on your own terms, okay? And some of us are still trying to get to that point.
Mm-hmm.
But, a lot of us, we will try to live on somebody else's terms, to be in a relationship, to get acceptance from our parents, to, please other people. And you have to get to a point where you're doing what you want to do for you.
Mm-hmm.
And allowing life to fall in place for you because you're living it your way. That's what Black Boy Joy is. And then the good sex is just, that's just an added bonus. Everybody should be having some just good sweaty booty crack.
Just real comfortable, real hot.
Comfortable. The 90s
Wow.
slow jams bopping in the background.
Yes.
Hopefully it's not on an air mattress,
But if it is,
I'm going to tell you, some of the best sex that you're going to have will be on an air mattress in somebody's grandmama's basement.
Basement. You already know. Like,
Next to the laundry machine.
The number of people online who can co-sign that, it's a real thing. Straight, gay, and all the above. Everybody on the spectrum knows that you can have some really great sex in somebody's basement. Like, that's some real
somebody's
shit.
basement on one of them pallets next to the washer and dryer set.
it's that adrenaline too. It's that rush. Like, this ain't conventional, but bitch, we gonna make it work.
You just down there and it's good, and hell yeah, and I talk about sex a lot because we don't, as Black gay men, we have a lot of sex, but I don't think we really understand it, and we really don't understand our bodies sexually, because our parents most Black parents, this is most Black mamas, were reluctant to sign that slip to send us the straight sex education. That was just to talk about, titties and periods and reproductive organs. They said you don't need to know that. So they said if that was the view on heterosexual sex, you already know where we are on gay sex, like in the back of our mind. And so that's why I talk about it a lot more now. We need to be talking about it.
We need to normalize it. We need to first of all normalize it. We need to.
Oh, it's definitely normal. We need to normalize talking about it out loud and telling the truth about it. And a lot of people are out here, having sex and they feel bad because they're not doing it the way they're doing on the videos. Okay. But if you learn how this really goes, you can have some sex that's better than what you see on the video. But we'll get to that later.
Yes, we will. So we are going to jump. Oh, go. You got it?
I also wanted to make a note that, like, there truly is a lot of shame about, like, as gay men in general, we've been stigmatized to be super over sexual, and I think, like, in an effort not to push that stereotype, a lot of gay men, and specifically Black ones, like, shy away from the topic just because we don't want to be stereotyped in that way. I at this point don't really give a fuck. I have said countless times on this platform that I am one freaky bitch, and
Come on now.
I certainly do not mind being honest about that.
You have to be honest about it, because a lot of people feel ashamed because, see, we are sexual, especially men, and women are too. But I'm talking about us right now, and we are taught by the church, we're taught by our parents who usually weren't educated about sex either, that, you might want to get it on with 3 or 4 other people. And that's perfectly okay to want to get it on with 3 or 4 other people, or you might want to hang upside down from the ceiling fan while somebody puts some balls in your mouth. And you feel bad because that's what you want to do, but that's what you want to do, and that's okay.
And that's your business.
That is your business, and that's okay. And I'm getting more just open-minded and getting a better understanding about all those things.
Well, shout out to the people hanging from swings, honey, with balls in your mouth. You are
living
life.
Upside down teabag.
Oh, yeah. That's called the carousel. You got to get out of name.
Come on, I need to remember that.
That's the carousel. Yeah.
Well, first of all, I'm super excited about this episode already. We are jumping in, and we have no holds bar. We are unapologetic, and that's what we love to see in our guests, and because that's what we bring to the show. So we're super excited to have this conversation.
Fit right in.
Yes, he does. But we're gonna first off do our Black Boy Joy Spotlight like we always do. In today's episode, we have our Black Boy Joy Spotlight. Devin. This week's Black Boy Joy Spotlight goes to a man by the name of Nico Anand. If I'm pronouncing the last name wrong, please, I apologize. But he is an actor who is known for his most recent portrayal of Uncle Clifford in the Starz show Pussy Valley, Pink Valley, and Chuckalise. No, oh, Devin, go. I already see you ready.
Because, girl, like... This show has been on since, I think, July, and I just watched it last weekend, binged all, 6 episodes of it. And when I tell you the first, scene, I was like, oh, bitch, I like this. And when the sex scene, okay, let me not give y'all the plot, but there's a sex scene in there that made me so happy. I think, like, as a person who is, you know, I would say, I don't know if I've done this before, like 65-70% feminine. It is important for me to see other, like, you know, Black people who are LGBTQ who like go back and forth with that, who have super feminine expressions and maybe sometimes don't. I think we see that in Uncle Clifford when.
You think?
Well, I mean, because we see Uncle Clifford in like a full beat face and a full lace front, but then also at some point, and I don't know if it was just so they could
when
go
he went to
the bank, but like at some point we see him not in that. So I was like, okay, cool. Like we get a little dynamic.
Oh, that's because he wanted to make sure they didn't play with his money. Okay, he put the makeup on when he got back in the car. Okay,
so that's what I was trying to figure out, right? Because I was like, I see this, like, what's happening here? So to some degree, I like relate. I do not wear lace fronts, but
the face is good.
Now, girl, you know, I always do a full ass beat. This is a natural beat, honey. I'll tell you, I go all the way in.
Come
on. Nonetheless, so happy to see love for a character like that, and so happy to see sex for a character like that. Like that meant something to me. I'm so tired of seeing like straight people have sex all the time. So like seeing non-straight people have sex on TV was like.
I mean, yes. I mean, anytime non-straight people are having sex is hot. And I stand by 2 men having sex is the best type of sex on the planet. I don't care what nobody says.
Yeah, I just prefer them to be Black. I don't know why I love. No, I do know why. I like Black sex. It's nice. It's good for me.
It's the best.
It's the best. Okay.
It's the best.
But yeah, shout out to Uncle Clifford let me say Nico Anon, aka Uncle Clifford. We appreciate the representation that we have for you right now. We know that your success is going to go beyond this show.
Oh my God, no, that show is going to take the fuck off. Anybody who's watched it so far, like, between the ass, the titties, and Uncle Clifford, and just the drama in general, that show has a bitch hook.
But shout out to him for that. But have you watched the show, Sampson, yet?
Of course I watched it.
Okay.
Hello. I mean, I remember the first night I looked at it, I was high on edibles.
Come on.
And so, you know, the show, so the show is already good. And then when you high on edibles, everything be having you like, what the fuck? And yeah, you be sitting there like it's fair. I don't want to give it away, but Uncle Clifford did get, you know, he got it real good up against a jukebox or something like that. And I had to go make a call after that because I was hot.
Somebody else had that experience. I watched it and I was in there squirming and like low-key like swooning. I was like, this is really good.
Right. You know, I was on the couch and I felt what was going on. Okay.
I was like, I'm ready for this. I knew this was gonna happen. I was like, but I also appreciate that Lil Murda was not afraid to like say that he wanted Uncle Clifford. I'm gonna just name that. I think that was something you rarely see is just like straight this rapper thug ass. You know it happens, but like seeing that he's very vocal and like was really like adamant about getting Uncle Clifford, and then you also see like Uncle Clifford's like not even feeling confident or thinking this is like a legit thing of love, and that's something that also is a problem too, that men that are quote unquote feminine or wear wigs or makeup feel like they won't really find love. And I was like appreciative of seeing that happen, you know, and I really appreciate like, even if we're spoiling it, but like y'all gonna watch it, like meeting.
We're not giving away a plot point.
Yeah, meeting, was that his grandma or his mom? Like when he met the grandmother, I was like, and you see little Uncle Clifford like, oh, this is cute. This is cute. So
how much joy that entire thing brought me. Like, yeah, like love for a feminine character who is like male. Like it's beautiful. It really is nice to see something that we've just not seen before, not in a non-violent or non-sex work way. I mean, I guess we have imposed, but I don't think it's like, it didn't feel the way it feels this time. Like something about this I connected with a little deeper, and now I do love Pose, and I do definitely like connect to Billy Porter's character.
I think
P Valley has a little bit more edge than Pose does.
Yeah,
Pose is very safe. You know, it's still very safe. And it's kind of activisty. It definitely has a message, whereas P Valley just takes all the risks and pushes all the buttons and helps us confront the real world.
It's
Pose
post
does too, but it, P Valley takes it a step, a couple miles further.
I'm gonna call it
Yeah.
post pose. We can
Post
call it post
pose.
pose.
Honestly, I like the community. I mean, I like the where they live. Like they have no problem saying she. They do say it, of course, which is sometimes problematic, but they do say she and Uncle Clifford and like have no like weird looks when she shows up. So I appreciate that.
How do y'all feel about it being what's his name's character that uses that word, that uses it? Isaiah. What's his last name?
Isaiah Washington.
Washington. How do you guys feel about him being the person who is like trans/homophobic?
I mean, it's not far from what he is in real life. So
that's why I asked.
there's that. And we have a long history of beefing.
Right?
It's very well documented.
Is that so?
Very well documented beef. But as homophobic as he is, I think he beefs with me the way he does because he wants a piece of this. But we're gonna leave that alone.
Unless Chipper Girls want this cake.
After seeing him in Blackbird,
we'll leave that alone.
After seeing him in Blackbird, I was like, okay, somebody's trying to clean it up here. But
of course, he definitely did Blackbird to revive his career, and the kids weren't buying it.
The girls were not.
And they weren't. And I mean, I thought Blackbird was a good movie, but he has too much. Sometimes you just need to say, okay, I know I fucked up. Let me show up to some Black gay events, write some checks, volunteer, do this or that. That's how you clean it up. You don't go clean it up by adding to your resume. You come out into the community and let people in the community see you trying to clean it up and have conversations. Then that's how you clean it up. But of course, he's not going to do that.
Debbie, do you know the history there, like with Isaiah Washington?
No.
If anybody doesn't, and this is the only thing I know about, but I think it was in like 2005 or so when Grey's Anatomy was on. I believe he called the actor who plays George O'Malley, I believe he called him a faggot. And then he was removed from the show shortly after.
As he should.
Like it was abrupt. They snatched that nigga right off of there. And he didn't come back until Christina's exit in 2015? And that was for like an episode. So yeah, they absolutely got him the fuck out of there. And he just has that narrative.
Yeah. Well, Pussy Valley has a season 2 coming, and I'm really appreciative of that. I'm mad that they only have 8 episodes right now, so shout out to Pussy Valley. And also, Patrick Ian Polk is an executive producer on the show, which I found that out, and I said, know him from Noah's Ark, which is an amazing show, which I want to reboot. I think we've named that on the show multiple times.
I would like to be in it.
Reboot.
I want that for me.
Yeah. Are there any shows that you like currently like watching right now, Sampson, that you like or enjoy?
I look at a lot of stuff on YouTube mostly, but Greenleaf was also my show, and I'm feeling some kind of way.
Yeah.
About it being the last season.
Yeah. There's a spinoff coming. I've heard. There's definitely.
I don't give a damn. I want Greenleaf.
Well, who's in it? Well,
I think the mom, the matron, like will be the like her running the church, because of what happened. I don't want to spoil, but
yeah, don't spoil it. Don't spoil it.
Yes, but that's the spinoff idea that I'm hearing. I don't know.
I like her, but I don't want it. I love Lynn Whitfield. Do not get me wrong, I do, but I would have been interested in seeing the cousins. I would have been interested in seeing that, but that's fine. That's fine. I'll take it however I can get it.
Wait, you said you watch like web? You say like you watch web series like on, or did you say like the YouTube?
Yeah, I watch like Triangle, the series. On
YouTube.
Yeah.
What's that?
It's a web series. Yeah, go ahead.
It's a black gay web series. It's good.
Yeah.
Also, I just look at different things on YouTube. I'm used to traveling.
Yeah.
So being someone who's usually in 2 or 3 different cities a week, I don't get a chance to sit down and watch television.
Mm-hmm.
So unless it's a series that you absolutely have to see, like Pose or P Valley, usually it's me taking in the world, which you do best on a place like YouTube.
Yeah.
Different people's opinions and this and that, and that's what I like to see.
Yes. Well, that is what we have for our hot topics. We want to get right into the meat and potatoes of why we are here. Mr. Sampson McCormick himself here in the flesh with us. First of all, tell the viewers and listeners a little bit about who you are and some things that you want them to know that we did not say already in the beginning.
Oh, there's so much to know. Let me see. I'm black. There's that. I'm a comedian. There's that.
Mm-hmm.
I got an OnlyFans account. There's another playing.
Oh, okay.
I'm playing.
Nowadays, let me just name this. Nowadays, OnlyFans is very market. Like, you don't got to just post what's your box on there. People be definitely posted like music, behind the scene music videos, and like I know women from the girls from Drag Race use that, like Shea Coulee. But do what you got to do.
So I wouldn't mind.
Yeah. It's But if I had an OnlyFans, people would want to see me with my clothes off. I know my audience that much.
You got a fat ass. I was like, what the hell is going on here? Turns around on the stage. I said, what the fuck?
Boom.
What? Hold on. Where did you see this at?
Church Boy.
You can see it on Church Boy.
And when you were in at the Howard Theater, and when I tell you, my jaw dropped both times because I was really trying to. I was like, no, maybe it's been a while. We're in a pandemic. I haven't had sex. I was just swooning at P-Valley the other day, so I was like, it could just be me. I went and watched the one at Howard Theater, and I said,
no,
this is exactly what's going on here. You got that.
Yeah. I have very thick legs and a situation.
Getting whiplash.
Yeah. But I used to dance when I was in school and play football and all that stuff.
Okay.
And then my mom is stacked. So and my dad was stacked. My brother is stacked. So I come from a stacked family. So I'm a little stacked. I'm a little stacked.
Oh my God. Samson, tell us some more about your child. Tell us some more.
Yeah. So there's that. I stick with the basics and then we'll go from there. I am a stand-up comedian. I've been in the game for 2 decades. I was one of the first out Black gay stand-up comedians of note in the business. I'm a writer, a producer, filmmaker, author, and somebody who's very involved with our community, in both the Black community and the Black LGBT community.
Thank you.
Yeah. And my album in 2014 was a finalist for a Grammy nomination for Best Comedy Album.
Yes!
There's that. That bitch better be funny. I also co-starred in the Oscar-nominated film I Live Here. And in 2018, I'm not gonna brag too much.
No, we do that on this show. We do that. We love that. This is the space.
And in 2018, I became the first Black gay headliner to headline the Blacksonian, which is the National Museum of African American History and Culture. My performance there and the turnout that we had, it was one of all their events there are very well attended. But it was one of the first events that they had where 600 tickets went in 4 hours for the show that I was doing. Because number one, in DC, I'm from DC, so I'm very popular in DC. And then on top of that, they never had a Black queer headliner there. So that wasn't just great for me. That was also an opportunity that allowed other Black gay artists to be booked at the museum as well, because as inclusive as they are, it's a different thing when you have a live event, because you don't know. So you don't want to spend money on an event that may not be well received. But that event showed that there was an interest in Black queer events. And that also, there's a market, there's a space for us. And so they started opening the door. Then Big Frida came after I did it. And then they had something for James Baldwin. And then they just started being more inclusive of our community. So, when I tell folks to support my work, it's a lot bigger than just me. I'm way past the look at me stage in my career. I really do this because representation for us is necessary. And you don't need straight people saying support Black gay folks. You don't need, because they don't live our experience.
Yeah.
They can't honestly, they may be able to sit down and write a great story, but you know the difference between a story written by a Black gay person versus somebody that's writing a story.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Yes,
You
we
do. There's certain elements that are in there. There's certain, it's even the most HIPAA shows, the most HIPAA podcasts, or any of those things, even if they have a white person at the head of it, if you go and you look at that writer's room, they will call in Black or gay people to come in and do the styling, do the designing, do the writing, teach them the lingo.
They'd be like consultants.
But on the other hand, I find it weird that for Black shows and for Black gay projects and things like that, they don't hire Black queer people to work in those writers' rooms. Isn't that a little weird that they put us in rooms for things where we aren't out at, but in spaces where we should be out at, they don't include us. That's a problem. And so that's why I do what I do. It's important for people who may not have a gay friend to be able to look at the television or come to a comedy show or listen to a podcast. Like, both of y'all will probably be surprised that somebody's mother may be sneaking listening to your podcast.
Oh my God.
Somebody's it's real life. Like, you would be surprised. 6 months from now, you could be reading your emails and see something that says, hey, my son came out, he ran away from home, and I was looking for resources, and I found that Black Boy Joy podcast. That helped me learn a lot about my son's life, the way I look at things. You will be surprised. And so that's why you need all of us plugged in doing what we do, because you just never know who it may be affecting and the impact that it's having.
Yeah. Thank you. I like that though. Think about it like that.
You are a real life trailblazer. Like, that's really, really interesting.
I realize I am now, but I had to really understand why I'm doing what I'm doing and why the things that we have are necessary.
Yeah. I like that. So we want to also get into your most recent project, Church Boy. So that is a stand-up film that you have out that came out June 1st, correct? And we wanted to talk about like what made you do the film. What was the name? What was even the reason behind the name Church Boy?
I did the film because I needed money.
Okay. Look, let's just be upfront. Let's just be bold. Oh my God, that's true.
So I mean, I'm an entrepreneur. I'm very blessed to make a really good living doing what I do. But I put it out for a lot of reasons. I put it out because, number one, I hadn't put out a live stand-up set since 2013. So, and a lot changes over the course of 7 years. So, I didn't have any new work. I was still touring and stuff, but I didn't have a new set floating around. And, I was like, okay, well, we need to put this out. And it just so happened that we recorded it a week before the shutdown.
That's good.
I didn't know that was going to happen. And then when we put it out on June 1st, which was in the middle of all the George Floyd protests. And I remember when we put it out, it seemed like we had just kind of put it out in the middle of a bunch of smoke, is what it seemed like, because I didn't want to put it out because I was like, this is not an appropriate time. But there were so many people grieving on the timelines and, on social media and stuff. I just put it out and I said, hey, this is for people who, if you need to laugh, this is funny. It's really good.
It is.
Have a release. And I put it out and that's what it's been.
I love it.
Yeah. And the reason for the name being Church Boy.
Yeah, I wanted to know that.
Because why did we name it Church Boy? Well, we named it Church Boy. Number one, if you look at a lot of my stuff has been about the Black Southern experience, which is very closely related to the Black church experience. Even though I have nothing to do with the church right now, no parts of the church, that's still home to Black queer people. That's where we come from. We have given life to so many things that is in the Black church. And I talk about it because I do miss it. I miss it.
Yeah.
And it's an homage to that and who I am at the core, even though I'm a big heathen and a hoe and, you know, out here running the streets, smoking crack, being reckless. No, I'm not smoking crack. But you know what I'm saying.
I was right here with you until
Devin was like, Devin said,
smoking crack.
He said, okay, hold on.
Mommy, I have never put crack to this nose or this
My mama
nose.
listened. My daddy listened.
What do people do with crack?
But no, not crack. But you know, I'm out I'm living life, and,
Yeah.
and a part of living and truly living means releasing a lot of the things that we were taught in the church.
Mm-hmm.
Meaning, you can't live a life being your authentic self.
Mm-hmm.
And for me, and I'm not religious, you know, but I had to arrive to a point where I said, okay, well, if hell is real, I would rather go to hell for living truth than living a lie.
Mm-hmm.
I would rather have a relationship and an understanding of God because I understand what that means, as opposed to me fearing who I am or who God might be.
Yeah.
That's the wrong reason. That's the wrong reason. Nothing, and I'm not even a big love person. I'm not really big on love or any of that stuff.
Mm-hmm.
But anything that is real love should not be inspired by fear. Okay, so if you're in a place where they're telling you God only loves you under certain conditions, or you know, like this, so you got to dot your I's and cross your T's this way, that's not love, and it's not a God that you should be embracing. Sadly, a lot of Black gay men are the ones who walk out of my shows when I talk about that. They're the ones who send, they're the worst when it comes to that. You know, Black gay men are the ones who send me the nasty emails and unfollow me on social media for critiquing the church.
That's so sad.
Wow.
That's really heartbreaking, actually.
Yeah, but
I mean,
they can't walk out of a church for telling them that they're worthless. But you'll walk out of a comedy show for somebody telling you, you know, hey, you're worth more than what they're telling you down there at the church.
Mm.
I commend you, because that's something you absolutely say in church, but like you are a strong advocate for people like walking out of anything that influences or encourages self-hatred. So I appreciate that. But I feel like with church gays, it's just really hard. Like that's a huge kind of cognitive dissonance to accept being gay and then to also continue acknowledging that you like come from church and you have these values and this faith. It's also because the sex in the church is so good. Let's talk about that. That's why some of them can't leave.
Let's get comfortable.
I want my grandmother to know that. I actually want her to know that happens. Like the first time I was just casually strolling through my Bitster and happened to see a video that was like in the pew,
pulpit,
and I was like, my jaw literally dropped. I was like, oh my God.
It's up in there.
I didn't know that was a thing.
Oh, they probably have more sex than we do outside of it.
Oh.
But we don't talk about it, and they feel safer doing it in there because most of them are at that same place. They know they do it. Maybe they pray afterwards and they don't talk about it.
Mm.
Listen. All right.
They also are with other people who understand, you know, God loves the sinner but hates the sin, and we all have our thing, so this is our thing. At least we know we ain't out here hurting nobody, and we can, you know, we can do this from time to time, but let's not call it a relationship. Let's not acknowledge it. The church is not going to acknowledge it, so they feel safe in there doing it. That gives them license to not acknowledge it. Yeah, but outside of the church, it's missing that thing.
Sauce. That sauce. Misses that stank.
Yeah.
What is wrong with y'all?
It's the truth.
It's the truth. It's the truth.
Oh my God.
It is. But you also have a segment too that in your stand-up where you talk about gays in the barbershop as well, which I personally love and personally can relate to. So like, what made you turn what most gay men or queer men see as trauma, walking into that damn space, as a space for a comedy?
So a lot of people don't think this is healthy the way I do this, but I don't look at it as trauma. I look at it as life. It's not trauma, it's life. And I think I understand trauma, and I also understand I have a right to my own opinion, so I say this. I think that too many people cling to the idea of trauma as kind of like a victim mentality. I've never been a victim. I've always, and maybe it's just the way that I was raised, and some people will hear this and say, oh, see, he's traumatized. I'm not traumatized. I am a person who knows how to take the reality of life and make lemonade out of it, or Kool-Aid, or whatever we're making, put some rum punch, whatever we're doing with it.
The fuck was going on in there?
Yeah, you know, you don't have a choice over the things that happen to you in life. You only have a choice about how you respond and the types of resources that you're able to get to handle those things. You know, everybody might not have a full deck of cards, but you take the deck of cards that you have and you play the hell out that motherfucker. So one of the things, and I think this is not just me, I think Black people have the ability, and especially Black gay people, but Black people have always had the ability to take things that aren't so pleasant and be able to laugh at them.
And that's what they hate us.
Into a joke.
That's us. We can turn that shit into money. Which I thought was a joke to us, which I thought was something triggering. Bitch, moolah, bank.
Yes. Have you been on Twitter and seen the type of stuff that we joke about?
World War III?
Joking about World War III. I mean, even when George Floyd got killed, people were making jokes about it. And I mean, it's not making jokes about him getting killed. It's making jokes about the reality of what your life is walking down the street as a Black person.
This ain't nothing new.
And so, yeah, rather than cry about it, we know what it is. So we say, damn, they done shot another one and I got to go to the store right now. So y'all pray for me while I go down here to this store. And we laugh at it because you know you do got to pray. Yeah.
And I think that we have that ability to make something out of nothing and make those spaces really something that we can have joy out of. Like I think about, I watch Lovecraft right now, Lovecraft County. Love the show. Everybody should check it out. And like, this is during the Jim Crow era and seeing how I look at it as more so as community in that space. Like think about like segregation, really with how Black people was together when people thought it was like so wrong. And I was like, damn, we don't see that anymore. Was segregation really something that, you know, I don't know, but I was talking about like community and shit like that. But Devin, what was you about to say?
I was gonna say I've always believed that like some of the best comedy actually comes from our darker experiences. Like I think some of the people I've watched act and do comedy also are really great at drama. I think Jim Carrey's a great example of that, and I think it takes the brain processing really dark and awful things, and then that really gives you room to expand the other side of that joy and comedy. Like I often find that people's comedy is influenced by most of their negative experiences.
Yeah.
In some cases, I mean, one thing that I have learned how to do is take things and process them, and then when I process them, then create with them. Yeah. And that made my stuff even stronger. Yeah. It's like I've always been great on stage, but it's like now as I you know reach 20 years, it's like, you know, processing it really having to like take things that like throws at you career wise, dating wise, life wise, with family, and you take it and you learn how to process it, you know, as you learn the lessons from life. And it's like now it's like this superpower that I have.
Yeah. How is it like developing relationships with people as a comedian? Specifically like the fear of people thinking that you would make them like a joke. How is that like?
Oh, they gonna be a joke. They know better. They gonna be a joke.
Well,
I'm like, child, I wouldn't try to date you because I'd be like, child, I feel like I'll be his next skit. I'd be like, child, I read on.
You gotta let them know when you first start dating them. Don't do nothing, won't be nothing. Okay. You know, you act right, I won't talk about your ass. You know, it actually, when it comes to relationships, all my relationships have been I usually keep them a secret. You know, usually because I give so much performing into the public and all that, I usually keep, you know, my relationship secret. Plus I have to keep them secret because I'm hiding my boyfriends from each other. And I'm just playing.
I love it, bitch. I love it. I love it. I don't know what's for real, what's not, bitch. I'm in the fucking.
You got somebody you gotta say I'm playing too.
I'm in the upside down.
I'm playing. I maybe within the last couple years have just started having good luck dating. But it was because number one, a lot of people see what you do and they like it. They like the spotlight aspect of it, but they don't understand when you get off stage, you're a real person.
Yeah.
You have needs. You don't come home and you're not walking around. Like when I come home, I'm not Samson at home.
Yeah.
I come home, I'm Sammy, I'm Sam, or that bitch upstairs, any of those. And I come home and I'm a normal person. And so some dudes, especially in our community, they want you to walk around and act like that all the time. And I'm like, no, when I'm working, then I do that. When I finish, I'm the most chill, laid back person you'll ever spend. We gonna laugh, but I'm not walking around, as my alter ego. I'm just, just a chill, cool brother that likes to have a good time.
I like that you do.
Yeah, but what I had to do was, I think I was trying to be too good, so I would see one person and I would only see them while I was touring. And I used to, try to convince them. And I think trying to be good, I think what people, they start to think you're hiding something from them. And I really wasn't. I just wanted somebody to take me seriously, and that kept getting me fucked over. So I was like, well, shit, I might as well just get out here and do what I want to do. And then now I'm doing that. I can't keep guys away from me now.
Child, I want your life. I need them to be I need to be a comedian. I need to be just telling them what it is too. Okay.
Well, it's more because I think maybe I was trying too hard is what it was. And now when I meet guys, if I see a boy out, I will look at him. I used to be one of them, oh, it's a cute boy, I'm gonna look straight ahead. Or this dude that I really like is doing something I don't like, so I'm not gonna say anything about it. Now, if you're doing something I don't like, I just say, look, motherfucker, I don't like what you're doing. If you don't fix that, this is gonna be over with in 7 days.
Yeah.
So, now I have much better luck with men. I mean, I never had bad luck, but I ran across a few interesting dudes.
I like how honest you are about your experiences. I specifically am referring to your experience with Jimmy Walker. And
Devin has been.
I quote it so often. A nasty motherfucker. I was like. So I say that to say, I think it's important for us to hold, people accountable. And I know that it's probably expected for people not to name experiences like that and then flat out say who they had those experiences with. But like, that's information I want to motherfucking know, like we need to know who's still pushing homophobia when we're trying to break through that. Like we're really trying to turn a new tide. And there are a lot of people who are still maintaining it. And I just don't think there's room for it. So I really, really, really appreciate it. I remember watching that video and I was like, yes, call that motherfucker out, please.
Yeah, it's, they better be happy that I'm not out here telling all the secrets because I know a lot of them.
Child,
I bet you fucking do.
Child.
I have toured with a lot of people. I have written for a lot of people. I have worked with a lot of people. I have worked on a lot of sets. I have been considered for a lot of television shows. And, and you interact with people and you see things and you hear things and, you meet people and you have experiences and, a part of it is knowing when to be quiet, but it also is knowing, okay, I need to say something about this.
Well, how do you know? Like, how did you know you needed to say something about that?
You just know. You
It's
just
that
know.
gut feeling.
You just know. It's not even that. It's just you just learn. You just learn. Like there's certain things that are known in the industry. Like if you're on set, and thankfully this hasn't happened to me. One reason is because a lot of the things that I do, I shoot and I produce my own stuff. But I also do go to a lot of sets and hang out and. Somebody might rub your thigh or grab your butt or say something inappropriate to you or, kiss you on your neck or give you a hug that's too long or something.
Devin
on
don't
a
even see that
set.
as a problem. I'm sorry, Sampson. Devin don't see that as a problem.
I mean, if it's unwanted, no, but
Sometimes it might be from
Yeah.
somebody you want it from, and that's one thing. You
Yeah.
know, and you might be able to say, hey, I was on set with such and such, and such and such did this, and then you see a
Right.
story come out about them having a gay encounter with somebody, and people be talking about, oh no, he ain't gay, and in the back of your head, you be like, oh, that motherfucker is gay because I had experience with him, but I'm not gonna say nothing about it.
Right.
And it's just like, because of what the experience was, you're not gonna say anything about it. But
I got you.
And then there's some other things like Journey Smollett just came out and said that the only sets that she was on where she didn't experience sexual harassment was Tyler Perry and the show she's on now.
Yeah.
Oh, it was like she said since she was 12, and that really shook me. And not that I'm shocked by women being accosted at work, but that even in childhood, this was something that she was experiencing.
Yeah.
And this is so disgusting. And I also, does that mean that Eve's Bayou is included in that? Because that's my
Child,
shit.
the movie was about the shit.
To a degree, like it was.
I know.
I mean, you might have to see a scene, or and something that counts in that is sometimes when you're on set with another actor, and you might have to do a love scene or something. Sometimes they have to fuck each other for real. Sometimes on some of these sets, sometimes. I know when I did a movie called Party and Play, and that was the first love scene I've ever done, and that was on my set. And the director that we had, we were trying to figure out how to do it. And me and the dude that I did the love scene with, we had to take our clothes off. And so we was in there butt naked on each other like this.
We in here.
He had to grab my ass. He had to lick my nipples for real, And thankfully, we know each other, so it wasn't anything. But sometimes you can be doing a love scene with somebody, and for you, it's working. For them, they having a great time. And you're like, hold on, bitch.
Oh, my God. No, I've seen that. I've actually witnessed that happen before. So
yeah,
it's not a pretty sight.
Mm-mm.
It just causes a lot of confusion, a lot of sort of messy.
Yeah, they might put you in there with somebody who got some stank breath or some shit, some old crusty hands, and then they up in there rubbing all on you. And you got to go home and put some Listerine on your nipples. Yeah.
So you talk a lot about you producing your own, directing your own content and things like that. Why is that? Have you ever thought about, being a part of a company or production? Why? So I'm not doing that.
I don't think a lot of people understand when creatives say, hey, we need your support. It's not always with money. Sometimes it's following us on Instagram when we ask, or retweeting something on Twitter, because that generates numbers for us, and we can do a lot more with the numbers. But my experience has been going into these studios. The only time it was my fault was I went in for a meeting. Me and Todrick Hall went in for meetings with the guy who produced his show that was on MTV, I believe. We were at Viacom in Santa Monica, and the same guy who produced his show wanted to produce a show for me. I didn't know what I wanted, so I passed on the show. That's the only regret that I have. If I would have been thinking and not trying to be all self-righteous, I would have said, hey, let me figure something out, come back to you. But I was like, no, I'm going to pass. I'm trying to be an artist with integrity. And if I can't think of anything, I should have been like, look, give me 7 days, I'll come up with something. But at the time, I was touring. And that was the only time that I had a really positive experience. The other experiences have been, we like this idea, but this character needs to have a white partner. Or because the black gay community isn't, financially dependable, when it comes down to supporting projects. And in some ways, you can't argue that. Like, if you look at things that are marketed to our community, and a lot of it is because you don't have a lot of major solo black gay artists in the mainstream, so there's nothing to really nothing to, you can't really calculate it that easy.
Yeah.
But the ones that you see, they don't get that much support. And I know for me, I can speak and say, when they tell me this, I can't argue with them. I have to find other ways to sell it.
Yeah.
I know that Black lesbians support me more than Black gay men do. And I wanted Black gay men to support me for the longest, but they didn't.
Damn.
White gay men support my stuff. And I be on stage telling them all.
They be chucking and cracking the fuck up when you dragging them.
And they pay $20 for that ticket. And meanwhile, you know, Black Pride will call me and say, hey, we want you to come, but we want you to stay at my friend's grandmama's house in her basement on the air mattress. You can have some good sex down there. I'm just playing. But, you know, you can you can stay, you know, on her air mattress in the basement.
Wow.
And we'll take you to Popeyes and we can pay you maybe $50. Okay, but then that same organization, and I have a resume that I don't brag about enough.
Yeah.
But they will have some coked out 90s R&B diva who can't sing no more, out of breath with a pot belly up there, can't perform, don't like gay people, and they'll pay her 10 grand.
That's so true. That is so true.
Mm-hmm.
I thought you said somebody's name.
No,
I thought you said somebody's name. I said, "Oh, child, get into it." But no, I definitely.
I would never do that. No, I didn't do that.
But we should. Oh, we absolutely should. We absolutely should.
To that point, and I don't even know how. We really have to find some way to just like really unlearn self-hatred with that. Cause I don't even know how to explain that, because I think you're right. Like I've seen the girls go out and pay a whole bunch of money for people who don't really care about us outside
at all,
doing their hair, makeup, or paying them the money to do the songs or whatever. And I don't know how to change that. Like, I don't know, other than to just keep trying, I don't know how to change that, because I don't want to have to watch a Black man with a white man in order to get the content that I want.
I hate that.
We've talked about that before. We have talked about that on this show. And that obviously, like, it's not that I am against interracial love, and I've said that on this platform, but that I want something new. I want something, just give me something fresh. Give me two Black ass niggas loving and touching and kissing and sucking on each other. I would like to see it in some other place other than my pornography. I really would.
Yeah, we are owed that. And I think that's the reason. That's something that in a lot of spaces we want to see us. We have no problem seeing, we don't care. We don't have no problem seeing interracial. We don't care about all that, but we want to see us, because that's not put out in so many spaces. We need to just see that representation. We need to see like, oh, okay, these men dealing with navigating like their sexuality and also being confident and comfortable without having to look to a white counterpart to be there for them. We want to see that it can be us, so that we can show people that it's not just the white man that can help, or the white man that we need to go to. We can go to our own folk. And I like that, because that's what I'm going to. I know that's what I go to in my relationships.
I only watch Black shit, so.
Yeah.
And I make it clear, I'm only going to love a Black man or Black men. Okay, whoever gets it right first. If I need to get 2 or 3 boyfriends, that's what we're gonna do over here, because I'm tired of bullshit.
I say that too.
I will be loving Black men.
Yes. It's that. We bring it. But sorry, wow. So much.
But I gotta answer your question right quick though. But I say all of that to say, the reason why I produce more of my stuff is because I have the resources to hire who I want to hire, which would be Black people, which would be Black women, which would be women, which would be disabled people, which would be Black queer people. Everybody on those sets are not white. I've never had a white man work for me on set, except my media manager, and he done had so much Black up in him that he can claim Black now. He's crazy about Black people. But other than that, the people that I hire, the DPs, the people who come on to serve snacks, my actors, people who give rides, everybody is Black or a woman or gay or trans or disabled or something, and I'm able to pay them. And I have full ownership in creative rights to do whatever I want. Nobody's saying, oh, well, we'll finance it, but you got to shoot it here. Like I'm producing a very big movie right now that I can't tell y'all what the name of it is, but y'all keep in contact with me.
Okay.
And when y'all see what it is, y'all are gonna be like, wow, like wow. And it will be out very soon. And not very soon, but in a few months. It's coming.
That's very soon to me.
It's coming, and some great people are attached to it. And with this particular project, we approached some people about financing it, and they said, okay, well, we want some white characters in it. And you can't put no white characters in it because it's a Black story.
Yeah.
And they say, okay, well, you got to shoot it here. And we're not shooting it there because that's not a Black city.
Mm.
That's right.
So it's a lot of back and forth. But, you know, we say, oh, well, nobody on television who's a Black gay person has a Black partner. Or we don't see the content, but it's like when you see something that you like, you have to retweet it. You got to share it on your Facebook. You got to, you know, share it with your friends. Some of these groups that we're in having these dumb arguments. I'm on some of those on Facebook where, you know, people will get on there and they'll say, oh, well, how many boyfriends do you have to have before you can fall in love? Fuck all that. We need to be getting on there celebrating ourselves.
Yes.
And so the only way that we can see our stuff is as a community. We collectively go, that's good. But I can say as a performer, I have been to a lot of Black Pride events. I've been to a lot of Black gay spaces where I will walk up in there without an ego. I'm one of the most humble entertainers you will ever meet in your life. I walk up in there and I'm like, I'm one of y'all. Like I'm here in full affirmation, support of our community, whatever. And they will still sit up in there with their arms crossed, looking like, what's so special about you? And that's what we give entertainers unless they are over the top or taking their clothes off.
Wow.
That's just the reality of it. And I am an outstanding live performer. I'm outstanding, and I will get in front of white people to give me standing ovations. I come home to us, and I'm like, "Hey guys, this is what's going on. Let's sit." And they would sit. Some places you go to, like if they come see me, that's something different because those are my, you know, that's my following.
Yeah.
But if you go into a space that's for us, Black Pride, no, Latino Oasis has been the best. But if it's like Black Pride or something like that, like one of those Black gay events, it's usually like you can feel it in the room.
Yeah,
you can sense it.
What do you want viewers and people that are watching Church Boy to walk away with after they see your stand up?
A good laugh, a really good laugh. Which, if you look at that, I don't put out crap, so I can say. With a 100% guarantee, you know, there will be something on there that you will hear that you will have a good belly laugh looking at. Yes. You know, I do understand as an artist, I am knowledgeable enough of the craft to understand everybody's not going to look like 100% everything that you do. I mean, even Beyonce put stuff out and people will be like, eh, but people know when you put out some solid work. You know, people know when you're a solid artist, and people will be able to look at Church Boy and say, hey, this is solid, and this is from one of us, and that was a really great time. You know,
Black as hell.
Yes, Black as hell, it's queer as fuck.
Love it.
So that's what I want people to take away from it.
How many
a
times
celebration of Blackness and queerness.
How many times have you seen The Color Purple? Because I was very impressed by how much of it you know.
I watch it every night 3 times. No, I'm just playing.
That's a long ass movie.
It's a long ass movie.
It's like 3 hours in it.
It's about 2.5 hours, 3 hours. But that's the Black. That's like the Black Gone with the Wind. Like that's like a Black classic, you know. But all those, you know, The Color Purple, Set It Off, Malcolm X, What's Love Got to Do with It? You know, Boys in the Hood, The Wiz.
That's my shit.
I am a connoisseur of Black culture, of Black entertainment. of our narratives. You know, you can't get out here and tell people celebrate the narrative, be all about representation if you don't know what our history is.
Yeah.
That's right.
You know, so I had friends who go, "Oh, you look at slave movies all the time." You know, I look at movies like Driving Miss Daisy and, you know,
Did you watch the Green Book?
I watched the Green Book. I went to the theater to see it in Crenshaw. You know, I watch movies like that. My friends will say, well, you know, you listen to too many Negro spirituals, you watch too many old school Black movies. And I'm like, I look at that and I listen to it because, yeah, I'm an entertainer, but at the core, I am also a storyteller.
Mm-hmm.
And so in order to be able to tell stories to the community, about the community, you have to know what our stories and history are. You have to develop an appreciation of your art form. You have to develop a deep appreciation for your craft outside of the adulation and the applause, because it doesn't matter how great you are. There come certain points in your career where you might put out a solid project and people just don't see it for you.
Mm.
And your passion for the craft has to keep you pushing and engaged in your craft. Yeah. You know, a lot of people, they think it's all about the hits. It's not about the hits. It's about what you do in between the hits that gets you to your next hit.
Yeah.
And so you can only do that. You can only have the longevity. You can only have, you know, the dynamic energy if you know what it is that you're doing and you're studying what you're doing. And I hate the word love, but you have to love. And when I say love, I mean make a commitment.
Mm.
That means giving up some boyfriends. That means giving up some sex. That means giving up some parties. That means giving up some of the other stuff to be with your craft and to learn it and to be dedicated to it. And a lot of people don't understand that.
Nope.
Mm.
God, you miss family functions, hanging out with friends. Your life is between whatever obligations you have and that craft. That's some real shit.
And it can, you really do. And you really, this year, I'm gonna tell you this, y'all, this year has been, you know, it sucks because I've been caged up over here in Inglewood, but I was jumping on flights. Because people don't understand. And again, this goes back to my original point. And this is why, you know, we wanted to come on here. This is why y'all are here. This is why we're having this conversation. Being a Black gay man who stays true, no matter what, to who we are as Black gay people. And that means telling our stories the right way. That means, and putting your best foot forward too, because, you know, as Black gay people don't pay attention to you if you're good. So you know you can't put out no crap. So in order to get even a fraction of the attention, you have to be outstanding. You have to work 2-3 times as hard. And the level of discipline and sacrifice that takes, you don't get to live. So this year, I will say, I'm not on the road, but I've had an opportunity to call friends, you know, to drink, to smoke weed, do some other grown folk stuff that I normally don't get to do.
Yeah. Do you see stand-up as a space do you see stand-up becoming a space where Black queer voices are being more accepted?
Oh yeah, now they are. And in the moment of transparency, you know, 5 years ago of what was going, maybe 7. 7 years ago of what I see now was going on, I would have had a heart attack because it was hard enough getting jobs being one of the only Black queer entertainers in comedy. And it wasn't talent. It's not, the insecurity wasn't about talent. It was, number one, that a lot of people who are the first to do things, who fight the hard fights, who open the doors, people kind of treat us like, you know, whatever. And then, you know, somebody comes along who, just because they're good on Instagram, you know, in 6 months, they get paraded around like a little puppet.
Just hilarious.
You said it, not me, but you know, we believe they're speaking the truth. You know, and not just hilarious. You know, I like Joanne the Scammer. I like Joanne the Scammer. I like you know, some of them are really funny, but you also have a lot of Black gay men on there who do comedy, and you know, it's not comedy. They're on there being clowns.
Yeah, you're right. I've seen it.
But people, you know, look at that because it's like they think all of us are outrageous. Ow, bitch. Yes, bitch, motherfucking bitch, ow. You know? And that's what they think all of us act like. And so the folks who, and there's a space for that. There is a space for that.
Absolutely.
That does need representation. But when that's getting held in a higher regard than people who put in the work, it's just like artists who
Excuse
can.
me.
It's just like, singers who can sing with a live band versus people who sing the track all loud and off key. It's the same thing.
It's offbeat.
Yeah, it's the same thing. It's really an obligation to the craft that I care about. Mm-hmm.
Thank you for that.
Yeah, absolutely. I actually wanted to ask you, what has gotten you from point A to point B in this? What has been, outside of your dedication to the craft? I imagine that there have been a couple of points where being gay and Black were really hard. Outside of your dedication to the craft, what has gotten you from point A to here?
Knowing that, and this is why some people are so miserable, knowing that if I did not do this, I would not be happy.
Mm.
A lot of people run around and they're miserable, and it's because they know they need to be doing something and they're not doing it. They're too lazy to do it. They're worried about what they're not going to have while they do it.
Yeah.
So they look for fulfillment in other places that are never going to make them happy.
Mm.
And they don't understand, if you found that thing, and everybody's here for some reason, if you found that thing and you commit to it, it won't be easy. It will be very challenging. It'll drive you crazy. But there will be a contentment inside of you that you won't be able to get from no man, no sex, no party, nowhere else.
Mm-hmm.
And all that is great. All that is, I encourage everybody, go have good sex as often as you can. Have a great time, live your life, turn up, but also do things that are going to make you happy, so that if you don't have any of those things, or they start to bore you, you won't feel incontent. Because that's what happens. A lot of people, it's like they got to find a new vein to hit all the time. And a lot of times, it's not, not that anything is wrong with it, they're just bored.
Yeah.
You become self-destructive and self-sabotage.
You're so right about that. I've seen a lot of it, actually.
Yeah. If you went and did something that made you feel happy and like you have a purpose and appreciate it, I think a lot more people would be where they need to be.
I agree. What I want you to rate your favorite Beyonce albums from your very favorite to it's good. Because we don't say bad. We don't say
we
bad.
don't yeah, we don't say bad
Unless
this
I'm
way.
talking about school and life, we don't say bad.
Not School of Life.
I really hate that song.
So I would say number one would definitely be Bodak Yellow. That's number one. No, I'm just playing.
So you a Cardi fan this way? I said, just to fuck me out. So you said, I am a Cardi. First of all, wow. Let's just.
No, I'm seriously playing. I actually love all those girls. I really am a huge Beyonce fan.
Yes.
I wasn't for a long time because anything that everybody else likes, I usually don't like it.
Yeah.
But she won me over at the Super Bowl when she did Formation. I was won over because I was in Oakland for 5 years, and we was all about that in Oakland. So when she started being the more radical Beyonce, when she started bailing out protesters and her music started to get blacker, then that's when I was like, okay, I think she's being more authentic with her music now. But to answer your question, my favorite Beyonce album is probably Lemonade.
I can see that.
A lot of people, you haven't heard Lemonade.
The people we've asked have not named Lemonade as their favorite. No,
I
haven't heard people list that as their favorite album.
Yes.
Some people don't say. Some people say, but that's because people don't like depth. People don't like depth. People like, they want to hear something that they don't got to think about too hard.
You're right.
That they can memorize real quick. They don't got to figure out what it is that they're talking about or what the lyrics mean. People want a quick bop. People want to get in the car and feel good.
Yeah.
People don't want anything that you have to think too hard about.
Escapism. People
want escapism. So when she started getting deeper, I can see why people kind of was like, but I don't know, I don't know. I like her more now. I like her more now than when she was doing, B-Day and stuff like that, which I think B-Day is definitely would be number 2 for me.
Okay, good.
We B-Day girls over here.
It was the versatility she gave me. I said it was the variety.
Yeah. B-Day is number 2. And then I would say her self-titled album is number 3.
Okay.
And then Sasha Fierce. And then for me, Black is King.
Come on. He said Black. Wait, are we missing?
Four didn't make it on there.
4 didn't make it on there.
And neither did Dangerously in Love.
I'm not giving him no energy. Come on.
That's fine. I mean,
they're
I
good,
love
but
4 when it came out.
it's a good album.
It got leaked.
It did.
And that's why she stopped that. She stopped that shit after that. She said,
I love it now, but when it came out, I just didn't really care.
Yeah, I mean, it's, we like certain work that they put out for different reasons.
Yes.
Mm-hmm. So it's just
where I was in life.
Yeah, that means a lot too. Sometimes they drop them albums. I'm gonna say this. Y'all are the first people I've said this to out loud. And hopefully he's not listening.
okay.
But so I'm usually a really good boyfriend. But when Lemonade came out, I had cheated on my ex. And like the next week that album came out, he was in there, he kept playing one of those songs and I thought that he knew. So I think he was playing, I forgot what
Hold
song.
Up?
He had that song on, I think he was playing Hold
Or
Up.
Jealous? Oh.
No, it wasn't Jealous. I think it was like Hold Up or something. But I remember
love you. Slow down.
he had it on repeat and he just kept asking me little questions. And so I was paranoid. I was like, oh Lord, this nigga know I done stepped out on him.
Woo, child.
And, yeah, that album made me very guilty. But
What you get?
That ain't.
Yeah, but we were very, like, me and him were very open about stuff. Like, I mean, we were together for 5.5 years, and and on the road, I slipped up one time. And I don't think that just because a man, I mean, you got to have your own thing, but I don't think just because somebody cheats on you, unless they're doing it all the time and you don't agree to it,
Yeah.
you need to check that out. But if y'all been together and, they go out drinking or something and they accidentally slip up and, lick a butthole in the car or go back and do something, I don't think that's a reason to break up. I only would have a problem if they came and they like started acting like it didn't happen and I found out. But if they said, "Hey, can we have an honest conversation?"
Yeah,
I'm good with that.
Mm.
I had a thought about that. Oh yeah, I've matured a lot about that. Because when I was younger, I was like, a nigga cheat on me, I'm leaving that nigga in the dust. And then I was like, we're human beings, so maybe you have a conversation about it. I realize now that relationships, especially one at 5 years, are definitely worth fighting for, or at least like trying to figure out, how to recover from those things. But when I was younger, I was like, fuck them niggas. If you cheat,
well, this is the real tea. The real tea is that he ended up. So we were together for 5.5 years, and then he broke up, and he left me for the dude that I cheated on him with.
Oh my God. I've only ever seen that happen on Twitter. That should be on Twitter, and I'd be like, damn, these niggas got interesting lives. I've never.
I'm just playing. I'm playing.
I was like this. Woo, child, just entangled.
Not you playing in my face.
I'm playing.
Girl, just eating it up. Devin was like, oh my God.
Hold on.
I love mess.
No, I'm playing with y'all. I'm still playing. We actually are still cool. I'm still cool with any of my exes. I think I have 3, and we are. Well, 2 of them were long term. One was we went together, man.
Yeah.
And we're cool. I don't understand people who get relationships with people and then they can't have a civil conversation after they break up. My exes loved me. I was the best one that they had.
I'm sure you were. I believe that.
Okay.
Period.
He was cute, but I was better.
I'm telling you, because even if they're with other people, I have gotten, and even dudes that I've dated, I have gotten inbox messages from them. Like, I had to come check you out because this nigga brings you up from time to time.
Wow. Wow.
I like that.
The juice.
I like that. Somebody, I read your Yelp. And I had to check it for myself. I had to check the product.
And their moms still call me. Their moms still send me birthday cards. I still get invited to family functions. You know, I know that I'm a good dude. Like, but men, and I'm very transparent. Like, you know, I'll be like, you know, yes, I slipped up, and you know, I slept with this dude one time in my relationship. That doesn't make me a bad dude. You know, It's overall how I approach a relationship. I know that I'm a good dude, but with men, what we like to do is we will have something that we know is good, but we think we can find something a little bit better. That's what happens, and then then they'll look back and be like, "Oh, that was a good one," or "I miss him," or they might see you on TV or something, and then they start calling back.
I seen a tweet about that. I did see a tweet. In gay culture, guys will find somebody and feel like, "Oh, I gotta find somebody better," so they'll break up with that person, and then they'll find that person and be like, "Oh, I gotta find somebody better," and then break. It's
a little bit better.
It's like, oh shit.
A little bit better.
Wow. First of all, thank you, Sampson, for being a part of this show with us. We could talk all day and all night.
No.
We love this. Yeah. But first of all, thank you for being a part of the show. We, like I said, again, really appreciate you for having us as one of the spots or places that you want to talk about your life and also your most recent project, Church Boy, which everybody should check out on,
so fucking funny, dog.
On YouTube.
YouTube, or you can go to sampsoncomedy.com, SAMPSON comedy.com. We also have t-shirts for my show, That Bitch Better Be Funny. We got t-shirts, so get your t-shirts. And or just come over to Instagram, Sampson McCormick on Instagram. And even if I don't update the page a lot, if you look at my stories, I'm always up in the stories.
Yes.
I usually don't put stuff online unless I have a reason to. Some people just, I want to be seen. No.
Yeah.
If I put something out, it's for a reason.
Yeah. And we know you have a big project coming up. So we want all of our listeners to be on the lookout, and please make sure you follow so you know what this huge announcement is, because I'm definitely going to be looking and lurking and making sure I'm going to turn my notifications on because I want to know. Yes. And I'm going to be like, we talked to him. This is what he was talking about. So I'm really excited. I want our listeners.
And I'll come back and talk about it when it comes back, because we have some really great people. I'm working on something else now. But after that, what we have, a lot of great people are attached to it, and it's gonna be for the culture. I'm so excited about it.
I'm ready. We are gooped gags. We have been begging for a reboot of Noah's Ark, bitch. But if we can get something better, we are living.
This is gonna be so for the culture. When people see what this is,
look.
Yes.
I love it. This is what I need. I need more gay nigga shit.
We gonna eat it up. I already know we gonna eat it up.
I'm so excited.
Yes.
I'm excited for you and for us. Shit.
Yes. So thank you very much for that. So like we always tell everybody, if you would like to continue the conversation with me and Devin on our platforms, you can hit me up at _Lord Every on all streaming platforms. On all social media platforms, Instagram and Twitter, not streaming. That is _LORDEVERY on Instagram and Twitter.
You guys know that you can follow me on Instagram at Derwin King. That's DERWINKING. And on Twitter at Free Negro. That's FREENEGREAUX.
Yes, and if you would like to hit us up on our podcast social media, you can hit us up on Instagram and Twitter at That Black Boy Joy. You can also check out all of our videos from our previous episodes on YouTube as well. So do not forget that if you want to see the visuals, please check out YouTube to see all of the podcast episodes in there as well. And then also, We Are a Mess. You get to see all of our facial expressions and things of that nature with our guests. And then also, if you would like to be a part of the show or have just a question or whatever you want, you can hit us up at our Gmail at thatblackboyjoypodcast@gmail.com. So please hit us up, reach out. We will right now, we will be taking a brief break, but we'll be coming back because this is our season finale. Yes, but we'll be coming back. And we really appreciate everybody for listening. But first of all, thank you again, Samson, for being the last person to wrap up our season 4. This is our 4th season?
Yes, it is season 4.
Yes. So we really appreciate. We didn't tell you that either, so surprise.
Well, congratulations.
Thank you. Yes, but we will be definitely back soon. But we want to leave everybody with peace and blessings, and take care.